guys? You know what time it is. It's time for another Siege Week. What's up, guys? It's Apollo. How's it going? So Siege Week is back. That means we're going to have Siege battles Monday through Saturday. And this time we're going to be looking at Thrones of Britannia. So if you guys want to participate in Siege Week, everybody is involved. So you just got to join my Discord. You can submit your Siege battle replays. You'll see the special channel. It says submit replay. There are a couple rules to it, so make sure you follow that. And those who did not submit a replay, you can vote on your favorite Siege Week battle, and the person who sends in the most voted, the highest voted battle will earn a couple prizes like a $30 gift card, Steam gift card, and he'll get his battle on the Hall of Fame forever. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. I really enjoyed the last Siege Week with Rome 2, and it's good to be back, and it's good to be playing Thrones, which has some very epic siege, underrated siege battles, honestly. So today we've got a battle. We'll go ahead and do normal speed. We've got a battle between Vikings. We have Dyflin, and then we have this faction here, which I'm probably not going to pronounce right. I've heard it pronounced many different ways, but I'm pretty sure Total War pronounces it like, and I completely forgot how, but it's like Sifir or something. I don't know. But they're Sea Viking. They're Sea Kings. They're pretty cool. I mean, they're Vikings, right? They got Viking units. Actually, hold on. Let's slow it down here. We actually have, I did not expect this, a sally out by the Eastman Spearmen. Really fast. I wanted to show you the armies. So, two Dyflin armies, got lots of Eastman mailed axemen, lots of spearmen as well. So that's their initial force, and then they've got their hunters, which is like, they're not great. The Vikings, at least Dyflin doesn't have great archers. This army over here, we're seeing a good mix of warriors, marauders, warband. Of course, we have some artillery, and a lot of troops, shield biters, pushing up the siege towers. Let's look at this army really fast. We've got more Norse warriors pushing up the siege tower, so a brutal Viking battle here. Some Eastman champions, really elite units go into the fight here. Hearthguard, really cool units. Long axes, really great at getting a great charge off. And then we have the other Dyflin army, which is bringing very similar forces to their ally. Got the axemen, got the spearmen, and a couple spears over here ready to hold this gate. Look at this. So cool. All right, so let's go back to normal speed. There we go. So the artillery just opening fire on these spearmen over here. Ooh, yeah. They're good targets to go after since they're pretty clobbed up here. Clumped up since they're trying to defend this gate. And they've lost a lot of men. Look at that bombardment there. Really causing a lot of death. The spears who charged out have pushed out here. They have no chance. They have no chance against these swordsmen. They are probably going to be crushed, and I don't know why he charged out like that. I don't think that's the smartest of ideas. Well, actually, he's retreating them. He is retreating them. They're winded, and I guess he's just trying to slow down the siege tower, which in a way worked, but the rest of the troops are now sallying out, or not. They're not sallying. Attackers don't sally out. The attackers are scaling the walls and are pushing towards the axemen over here. Archers have now abandoned the walls, firing over, trying to soften the troops who are going towards the gate. And then we've got more siege towers coming this way. Over on this side, there's really nothing defending against this army. So the defenders are going to take a lighter approach to this. In fact, they're falling back a lot of their forces. This might turn into just like a pitch battle. Now, they have caused a breach in the wall, and we have some cav running amok, some Eastman horsemen coming to take some flanks here. So far, it's been a pretty messy defense. And now the troops are just kind of standing here, waiting. I mean, I don't blame them. Why charge into a shield wall? And look at Dyflin is just kind of forming around these troops, preparing his front line. The Vikings are exchanging words like, "You traitors!" I don't know what they would be fighting over, money or something. I don't know. But yeah, they have a little bit of a cav fight here. The cav is engaging. The horsemen going after, I assume trying to go after vulnerable Dyflin units. They're going to charge in, countercharge their swords into this cav unit. And oh, yeah, they're going for hunters. Yep, they're going for the archers, and they should be able to get a pretty decent charge against these guys. Though the hunters are fairly quick, And by running away in the same direction, kind of seemed like it nerfed the charge a little bit. But this cav might be able to break some of them, maybe not. But we'll just see how fast they can kill them. More Dyflin troops pushing out. It looks like they are going to now charge and try to face these guys out in the open. They're going to be taking on some elite units. Some archers starting to put down some suppressing fire. Now we have the Dyflin infantry. Oh, looked like they were going to join the fight there, but they decide to fall back from this struggle. Very interesting maneuvers there. So, we do have a little bit of a fight. The Eastman Axemen taking on some Norse warriors. Dyflin, of course, has decided to charge in here and actually try to hold on to these walls. Some strange formations here. But, oh, one of the units they were able to sneak by. These Norse warriors trying to charge these hunters. Dyflin having a tough time protecting his archers against their enemies here, these attackers. But so far, it's been a little bit of a bizarre defense. And now Dyflin has called the retreat to fall back. Already falling back to this final stand area. There's 2 choke points. Yeah, no, 3 choke points they can attack. So it's not going to be an easy task. And these are pretty big gaps. So they're going to need a decent amount of troops to try to take care of these. And they're definitely retreating a lot of the forces to try to deal with that. The other Dyflin player, he's still fighting the good fight. It's unfortunate his ally has abandoned him, because now he's going to get surrounded by 2 players, 2 armies. So yeah, a pretty shaky start for Dyflin for sure. You usually want to try to defend the outer walls as much as possible. You do get that arrow tower support. I mean, it makes sense to want to fall back to the inner parts of the city here, because there's less to defend, but at the same time, those arrow towers rack up a lot of kills. So now what's left of Dyflin is getting slaughtered on the outer parts of this wall. The rest of the forces are moving up. This Viking faction, I don't even want to say their name because I'm just going to slaughter it. They have set up their troops and they are ready for the next assault. And it seems like, yeah. Well, we got a couple troops hanging behind. Oh boy. Oh boy, these guys aren't even looking the right. There they go. There they go. Gotta love that. So he is leaving behind a couple troops to try to slow down the advance of their opponents here. But it just hasn't been a good start for Dyflin, and the balance of power is in favor of the attackers. Not by a ton, but by a decent amount. Definitely by a decent amount. So there they go, holding against the guys. They actually break them here. See, again, like, why give up so early? You actually won on a flank. If you keep trying to fight, that's for the best. Because, you know, this has the same mechanics as Attila, where if you give up the city, they can burn down your buildings. There's special units that have raiding capabilities, so when they run by structures of the attack, of the settlement they're attacking, they burn down the buildings. So you're kind of just letting them have free range here of burning down these structures. Another reason why you don't want to give up the outer wall so early. And is he going to try to save these guys? Wow, he's going to try to save these axemen. They might make it, but they're getting trailed here pretty closely by some Norse warriors. So they're now falling back, and now they've set up their final stand, guys. This is it. What a light outer defense. Do they have enough? That's tough to tell. It's tough to say. Siege battles become very... They become very battle-y of attrition-y, if you get what I'm saying, right? It always comes down to attrition in these parts of battles. Who has the most ammo? Who like saved most of their archers? Who's wiser on, like, oftentimes you'll see players just go crazy with their units and just charge in like big axe units who don't have good shields and they just get shot down by archers. So you got to be really smart about what you send up here, how you send them up, and the timing of everything. You got to make sure units are, you know, being reinforced. You got to make sure your general's up there using abilities. I mean, there's a lot to really think about in these types of last stand areas for both teams. I mean, I think it's a little bit easier for the defenders because as a defender, you can really pick and choose what targets you want to go for as the hunters. I mean, that's not too difficult. You got to kind of reserve your troops wisely, you know, like making sure these troops are, you know, not tired right away and trying to conserve their numbers. This looks pretty cool, though. This looks really cool. That's one thing I like about the last stand. But yeah, it's really going to come down to attrition. It's going to come down to who has the most resources, who has the most generals alive, stuff like that. But if I was the opposing team here, if I was the attacking team, burn it all down. Burn this all down because you want every advantage you can get. So burn all the buildings down, capture this point right here, take these towers down because you don't even want the towers harassing you, and just leave nothing for the defenders. And by burning the village down, it's gonna cause, look, they've caused -1 in supplies. I assume that's like archer ammo. I'm not sure. I assume that's what that means, which is actually really interesting. And then melee skill -1. Supplies would be huge. Yep, there they go. Look at, they are gonna burn it all down. Smart. I was really glad I'm seeing this. Because I would be doing the same thing. I'd make them suffer. So we're gonna actually fast forward here, and we can. The great thing about Thrones of Britannia is you can actually fast forward, and it's not super laggy. Most of the time, when you fast forward Total War games, it's like like really stuttery, really laggy. I hope you enjoyed that impression of that. But yeah, we're just kind of, and I'm not going to cut this out because I think it's important to show you guys and to make you a good player. When you're sieging, don't give your opponents any kind of advantage. Take everything from them. Don't be lazy. Go around, burn these buildings down, and they've now destroyed 8%. -2 supplies, -2 melee skills. So every little stat counts. Everything matters. It's really, Total War is a battle of inches, a battle of centimeters, where if you just gotta take everything from them and you leave nothing for them and you make this defense as hard as humanly possible, and they are burning down this village like true Vikings here, and now they're at 12%. 12% of the city, and oftentimes these like collection of buildings here, they don't follow building code, and they're a little too close, and fires will spread. So you don't. It's not like you have to burn every single individual building. So yeah, this is. Oh, now they're going for the arrow tower over here as well. The Norse archers. So they're going to take that. They are getting hit here. I would have put them in shield wall. It looks like they are now, which is good. Better late than never. But they are taking this, so they don't have to worry about this anymore. And is officially uncontrolled. Oh, they destroy it. I forgot. That's another stupid Attila. I hate that that trait there, or mechanic, where the towers are destroyed. And then look at, they're just wasting ammo. They are just wasting ammo on this one unit. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. These battles of attrition. They are not using their equipment wisely. They are wasting their ammo on a unit that has a shield. And this unit's pretty much dead anyways. It's 34 men. Stop. Just let them live. It's fine. Finally, they hold fire, but, or not. Are they still firing? But yeah, you really gotta pick and choose your targets. Seriously, like Total War siege battles are all about little decisions that add up to big effects. And you really gotta make sure you pick your targets wisely. Do not just shoot at anything that comes close to you. If they're setting up archers, okay, yeah, shoot at archers. You want to take out their ability to hit you from afar. If they set up a really elite unit that doesn't have a shield, go for that. Take that out. But don't shoot at units like this. Don't shoot at units like this that have shields. See, this is a good, these long axes, no shields. Very light armor, but they do a lot of damage. They do a ton of damage. Jared Leto over here. So take them out. Take them out, and you will save so many troops. And I think the defenders have kind of figured that out. But we're going to continue to fast forward this, guys, and wait for someone to make a move here in this battle. So here, nope, they're still not going. I think they're still focused on burning down the village. So what we're actually going to do here, guys, is make a cut and start it back up once they begin attacking. Okay, so after a couple minutes of skirmishing, it seems like the attackers are ready to move up their troops. And they're also moving up their archers. This is kind of interesting, actually. I don't know how effective this is. I've done this myself too. But he's actually got his archers being protected by some swordsmen who have some nice round shields. And yep, there they go. They're in shield wall protecting the archers. I think that's actually really cool. How many times in a movie where you see that, where there's like an archer in a shield wall and they shoot through it, and kind of like that scene in Troy when they're raiding the beaches or landing on the beaches. You see that where they're in a testudo formation, and they move the shields out of the way in a little section, and archers fire through out of it. Pretty cool. But this is a nice tactic because you're absorbing a lot of ammo, you're protecting a lot of your archers, and they're just firing right at the infantry. Again, I wouldn't do that. Even as the attackers, I wouldn't shoot at a shielded unit. As the attackers with my archers, I would try to focus down their archers. Maybe if you see a very vulnerable elite unit, like a heavy axe unit or a light axe unit in the back, you could go for that. But honestly, I would use the archers as a bit of a meat shield. Not so much as a meat shield, but more of a focus for the defenders to focus their ammo on, if you get what I'm saying. I really think it comes down to attacking. Your goal is to try to get as many troops to this point right here without taking on too many casualties. If you can get to this point without taking many casualties, you will eventually break through, because attackers have more money. They get more money, they have better troops, so if you can get them in a fair fight like this, they could easily break through here. So there we go. The skirmish still continuing on. I thought they were going to send up their infantry. Pretty soon they're going to have to. Again, maybe he's just trying to get the enemy archers, the defending archers, to waste as much ammo as possible. They've done a lot of damage over here, surprisingly, with those archers. The shield wall is not as effective as I thought it would be. He is using a pretty cheap unit of swords here. What are these? Eastman fighters, tier 1. Not the greatest. But you definitely don't want to use your best troops for that. And here we go. Here we go. We do have some troops moving up, but he needs to go. He needs to charge. He's got Herdman, Hirser, Axeman. So like tier 1, tier 2, tier 1. So decent unit. There they go. Yeah, I don't know why he hesitated there. You want to go full speed. And another thing is, you want to make sure you're attacking on the entire line. Don't clump up in one area or anything like that. Alright, so more units pushing up this way. Another thing for the attackers is that they need to attack on all fronts. The archers, one thing to look out for when you're attacking with these archers is them firing at the flank. Since your units are engaged in the front, their flank is exposed. Got to kind of watch out for that. And there we go, finally, our first clash. I mean, Thrones looks pretty sick. I do love some Thrones. Damage-wise, they've done 28%, -5 in supplies, -5 a melee skill. That's a pretty impressive amount, a decrease to their stats, and that might be a huge help. There goes the Norse archers. One thing I hate about Thrones is that they're in shield wall, but once they get charged upon, they just break shield wall. Like, it's a really silly looking thing. Okay, so another thing you want to consider when attacking a line like this, keep your reserves kind of back. Don't let them sit here, because they might get shot at by archers, but he's not really focusing his ammo, so he's doing all right. So has he pushed over here? No, he has not. What about over here? Okay, there is a little bit of a push over on this side. Little bit of a push. And they are setting up more spears over to this battle. over to the side, this flank. More men scaling this hill. They might want to commit another unit in the center here. Send in this herdman. Also, you might want to commit up your general. It just depends on where is the general. Here he is. It depends what he is. A Hearthguard. See, Hearthguard are fine because they're heavily armored. You don't have to worry about archers as much. But they got some nice ability. Generals have very powerful abilities in this game where they can keep your troops in the fight for a much longer time. And there we go. Now we got some great axes. This is a great unit to go after with archers. Oh, no, 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 no. What are you doing? Charge them back in. Don't leave them there. Well, it doesn't really matter because the defenders are not focusing their fire on them. So this big old fight continues on. There are some wavering going on with the hunters over there. Nothing is attacking this side. Amazing. And it doesn't even look like they're going to try. If I was the defenders, I'd just leave 2 units here. I'd take one of the 3 here and send them over to the other side. Because if they're not gonna attack this side, then just don't have any troops there. I mean, just move them out of the way. Go to a more important side. Over here, they are committing a lot of forces. And now we have some mailed axemen going to this fight, trying to support them. Here comes some axemen over from the attackers, trying to use brute force to break through here, using their big ol' axes. And now more and more of the defenders are being committed to this fight. They do have some reserves, which is good to see, especially over here, because it is starting to become a losing battle for the defenders. Back this way, we have a lot of troops being committed to this struggle. And look at another row of troops. Now remember, they retreated from that front line so early on. The balance of power is about even. So the defenders have definitely turned this battle around quite a bit by using this inner defensive location. He's got to make sure to keep the general nearby. Depending on what type of command he has, like there's different command abilities. There's one called, I forgot what it's called. It's like Embolden. I think Embolden is the best one because they have a rally that increases melee damage for a period of time, and it's like extremely deadly. So when I play this, I often, or not, haven't lately, but I've played this a lot with my friends, and we all bring generals with Embolden, and we will cycle through that. Like, I'll use it, and remember, it affects all the troops nearby, even allied troops. So if you use Embolden, and then once it's used up, the allied general then uses it, and then the next one uses it, and you just keep cycling through, and you pretty much have a permanent plus to your melee damage, which is insane. Absolutely insane. So you can do a lot of damage that way. But it doesn't look like we have any generals aiding these men into this struggle. And again, they're still trying to focus their way through here. If they do break through here, it definitely would help. Definitely would help. But Dyflin is putting up a solid defense against these men. They need... Oh, there we go. Their general's finally committing over to this main fight. Again, he's got to try to use the ability here. Try to support his troops. Archers are still opening fire. Dyflin still has ammo in their archers. Still nothing fighting over here. Again, I would just peel these troops away. At this point, the attackers seem like they've committed everything. Now the general is in the front line, the Hearthguard. They're at 47 men out of 50, I believe. And you got to use... Oh, a counter charge by Dyflin. Look at, they're moving in some troops. They are willing to fight here, breaking their shield wall and going into the aggressive stance. Archer's still opening fire, focusing down the general, which is pretty smart. See, focusing down a general with a shield, even though they're in a shield wall formation, it's not a terrible idea because you are still doing some damage to them. But I think it would be better to focus fire into this blob right here. And Dyflin is just not wanting to budge. They're not wanting to give up. There they go. No forces are really wanting to budge. We had a bunch of rallies from both generals being used right there. We are seeing a lot of breaking here, though, from the attacking side, the attacking Vikings. This is really, really bad. I don't know if they're going to be able to recover from that. If they're going to win this one, they've got to break through right here. They've got to be using the general's abilities. But it's just the defenders have so many troops, and it's amazing they're able to hold with such a destroyed village. Maybe they should have destroyed more. I mean, there's plenty more buildings, and that's what I would do. I know that's petty and time-consuming, but I would destroy everything. Especially if I thought, wow, this is going to be really hard to take. I'm going to need every advantage I can get. I would definitely destroy all these buildings. But they decided not to. Again, these buildings are very close to the archers, so he could have just been worried about archer fire. I guess he could have gone over here as well and destroyed these, but I mean, he destroyed a lot. He's destroyed a lot, and this is extremely close. The enemy, the attackers are down to 600 men. The defenders have 1,000 men. And wow, there's a lot of units that are no longer fighting, so they can now rest up a little bit. More troops coming in. We got some long axes, and we have some Norse here, sir. Here, sir. There they go, charging in. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Back over here, it's still looking pretty good. It's still looking pretty even. The attackers might be able... Oh, reinforcements are coming in. Yeah, Dyflin is just not going to budge here, guys. Not going to budge. Yep, and... Oh, that's not good. So they've given up this flank because they don't need it. And now they're flanking around with some axemen. Not sure where they're going. They should just run straight this way. There they go. Must have misclicked there or something. But the axemen are pushing through here. And they are going to get a very good flanking charge on these forces. And it's not good. They need something to defend their flank. Look, archers are now into the thick of the fight. And here comes the flank. This might be the nail in the coffin. So there they go, charging the backs of these men. And the attackers look completely crushed there. The general is now breaking, and it's up to this force alone to try to take this city. The balance of power is saying that this is going to be impossible for the attackers. Dyflin has just held this position so well, and they're just holding on. They do not look like they're going to break anytime soon. See, axes are pretty good at breaking up shield walls. Obviously, axes, you can split shields with them. Enemy general is now dead. This is the one that was fleeing, so not really a big deal. I think most of his army is gone anyways. Dyflin has a ton of troops that are going to be able to flank around, but these men are already wavering. We got one unit already wavering over here, and that's not a good sign. Now reinforcements are coming in the front here. They're going to be able to flank around with units in the back, which are already on the march. Look at that. Already on the march. Another unit breaking. The general is breaking. All the units are breaking now. And there you have it, guys. That is going to be a victory for the defenders. A pretty clear victory, too. And don't say defenders never win. Because right here, they won. They have won. There goes the charge. Right into what's left. A couple units are rallying. But it's not going to be enough, obviously. And here comes the reinforcements that are marching in column formation, going as quickly as possible to try to flank around these guys and kill as many. It's like, how dare you attack us? How dare you? And there you have it, guys. There you have it. Finally. Wait, no, there's another unit over here. Attackers are not done yet. They're charging in. So, what could have the attackers done better? I think the attackers could have definitely been more aggressive over here and try to kill as many that are trying to retreat. They should have burnt down more buildings. And, I mean, that's about it. I mean, I guess he could have done a little bit better with attacking the center here, but you know, keeping the general nearby, maybe sending one unit over here just to keep the troops over here occupied. But it was a tough fight, a Pyrrhic victory for sure, in a decent stand there by the defenders. So let's end the replay and check out the results. So we've got 700, pretty much the same amount of kills here. I believe this was sent in by Joe. So thank you for the battle replay. Or yeah, it was Joe who sent this in. Thank you for the battle replay. Very fun stuff here, and good game to the opponents. Joe on it did pretty well, getting 712 kills. His ally unfortunately getting 575. If he was able to get another 200 kills, this could have been a different outcome. A pretty close battle. A lot of holy crap, this guy had so many archers. Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 archers. My God, that's a ton. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up here, guys, for the first battle of Siege Week. I've looked through the replays a little bit, and there's some really cool stuff coming out next couple days, so I'm excited about that. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the battlefield, and I will see you guys next time, well, on the battlefield.